Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Tell them your Amsterdam. Was it your Amsterdam story?
Ano ba ginawa ko sa Amsterdam?
Or we almost got killed.
I don't even remember. I don't remember I was there. I don't know.
So we're walking along the red light district.
Was that in Amsterdam or Paris? Amsterdam ba?
No, Amsterdam.
Yung Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. And then we're it's our first night back again. It's not like it's, you know, I mean, we've never gone into a bar, you know, because we've always just enjoyed the coffee shop. So we're like, okay, we're back again this year. We might as well make use of it. And we've never done it. So we were looking, we're just walking, you know, just trying to see which one is the best one, you know.
Yeah.
And we end up walking 30 minutes. We said, yo, let's just grab one drink, you know, let's pregame. And so we're like, okay, let's just go into this. So we go in and there's a Russian like bouncer, like huge. And we're like, okay. And it's empty. It's totally empty. It's early still. So we sit down, we order a beer, and then we're seated. And these two guys, Sam and our other friend Mo, was like, okay, they're ready. And then girls come out, but I already refuse. I'm like, no. I don't want to talk to any girl. The two guys end up talking, and the girls just throw themselves, you know, advance themselves onto Sam and Mo, and I'm like, yo, this isn't right, man. Like, they said no. Anyways, long story short, we have our drinks. We get up to leave, and they stop us. They literally stop the two guys. You pay or I break your legs. And I'm
nice.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, we didn't even ask for a conversation. They didn't ask, right? They were basically they're just conversing, you know, and then maybe touching the head. You know, it was not even a full on lap dance. It was just a conversation. So like, you have to pay no matter what. I'm like, what? And these guys didn't bring money because we didn't think we were gonna spend. You know,
kasi card diba? Usually,
yeah. And they're like, no, you owe. And it was like, I don't know how much it was. All I know is they didn't have enough. There's no way we had that amount.
Yeah.
And luckily, I brought my little satchel, the side bag.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the rich
oh my
man
gosh,
bag.
we're gonna. So I'm like, yo, okay, sige. Let me go to the banyo, and I'll just pull out some cash, and then let's just pay for it, and that ruined our whole night.
Yeah.
That just like we're like,
kasi laki, mahal. It was super mahal. Some crazy amount.
Yeah.
That also happened to me
crazy
amount. Sa Bangkok, nangyari rin sa akin a long time ago.
Same.
In Patpong. I went up a bar. Tapos,
the transgender bar?
Yeah. As a tourist, hindi mo naman alam kung ano. Hindi, ito yung mga...
Kung alin yung mga sketchy na lugar or hindi, di ba?
Yung mga ba-JJ, yung di ba maganda sa dart sila.
May show.
May show. Babalatan yung saging, tapos kakainin mo yung saging, di ba? Yung mga ganun. Tapos, yun, edi, siyempre nod kayo, di ba? And after that, before you leave, apparently, parang every show or every shot you give a girl na kahit di mo in order will be like some crazy amount, and apparently they were demanding us to pay.
The ladies drink.
Yung mga ladies, sobrang mahal na sobrang mahal.
Ito rin, sa Bangkok din to. Like, we were... Because you know how in Bangkok, everything pretty much closes at like 2 or 2:30. But, you know, for us, like, this was during my bachelor party, like, we were still kind of, you know, looking for a place to drink or whatever. And then there's this one restaurant. And there was a guy that was standing inside the restaurant. He was signaling us to, you know, come inside and that they're still open. And he goes, just go upstairs. So it's a small kind of like hidden bar. You know, there were people there, other groups outside of us, and there were girls also who were kind of just entertaining everyone. Nobody was stripping or anything like that. They were just kind of like, you know, talking to the guests and dancing and drinking. So you're like, okay. So we ended up staying there until like maybe, I don't know, like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I remember like there was one girl who went up to our table and she was like, yo, let's order some drinks. And we were like, no, we're okay. And then after she said that, like a waitress comes in with a giant, like, I swear, like a giant tray of tequila, maybe 20 to 30 shots.
Oh my gosh, that happened to me
and
too.
there were
Oh my
six
God.
of us. There were only 6 of us. So you were like, yeah, what are we gonna do with that?
Shit.
And then buti na lang, my friend had the presence of mind, or at least he was trying to get a video of maybe someone who was getting drunk or whatever. So he was taking a video of the small coffee table that was in the middle of our area. And you could really see that the waitress puts it on the edge, knowing full well that it'll topple over. So when she lets go, imagine 20 to 30 shots just break on the ground. And they're like, oh, yo, you were too drunk. You hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay for it. And so we all said, like, no, we didn't touch that. We didn't order that. And buti na lang, my friend has a video that shows that your waitress was the one who dropped it. And like when we showed them that video, like you could see that they were so visibly pissed off. But like it was their MO for sure. So kung medyo wasak ka na, tapos wala ka na sa tamang pag-iisip, wala.
Oh, you just pay for it. Oh.
That's why so many of those guys, the foreigners, when they enter that bar, a certain bar, and they don't know that it's not really men, it's not really women.
Yeah.
They go buck wild, and then the MO is magwawala. Authorities come, arrest if there was any kind of violence. They arrest the foreigners, and they have to pay a certain amount just to get out. And it's usually an MO.
Kaputsaba nila yan eh. Oo, ano na yan eh. Oo, set play na yan.
Hawakan ka sa bird. Tapos, malalaman mo may bird din sila. And next thing you know, you're in jail.
Bird to bird.
And that's one place you don't want to be in jail.
Si Rihanna, di ba? Lips to lips, nip to nip, bird to bird. Oh, just like this. But how come when I wake up singing?
Wala na. Tapos na.
Pero grabe, I have to say though, grabe yung mga MO nila. Like, as in, alam mong pinag-isipan, alam mong tested na, mautak eh.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a set play. Na parang ano na yan. Talagang, okay, mukhang foreigner, mukhang white boy or whatever. Like, I guess when you were in, I'm not sure if that was Amsterdam or Paris, which Tony was talking about, or in Bangkok for that matter. Alam nila yan, turista to. Alam nila yan. Diba? Like even in India, when I go to India, of course I look Bombay like anything. But when I go to India, people know that
because the way you talk, kumbaga parang
or maybe the way I dress or whatever. Parang Amboy, diba? We know that they probably look Filipino, pero ito Amboy ito.
Yeah.
I mean, even when
classic.
When we went to India, right when we got out of the plane, tapos we were walking to the bus, you had people outside thinking that they're porters. That they're getting your bag and then they're walking with you. So what they'll do is they start walking with you. Once they get to the bus, you realize they're not part of the service. They're just out there, just like they're waiting for you to give them a tip until they release your bag.
Yeah. Hayop din yan. Sa Venice, ganyan din. As in, when you get off of, diba? Like, because usually you take with either a train and then you go to the water taxi or whatever. So they'll offer, and I remember parang the first time that I went there, I made the mistake of like, okay, sure. I mean, how much could it get? How much could it come out to, right? Literally, siguro mga wala pang 100 meters yung nilakad niya. We had 2 maletas. Nilagay niya sa cart niya. Pagdating namin sa water taxi, he was charging us like, what, 40 euros? And I'm like, what?
Crazy.
40 euros?
That's why
Are you kidding?
Sam and I are we're smart about that because we knew someone will try to we'll bring your bag. No.
I got this.
Ng hotel namin.
I got this.
We refused to do that because we were smart. Well, we've learned already that these guys, when you enter a new country, they need to make a buck. You know, I mean, they need to make a
of course.
And even what's the name of that big church in Venice? The one that they use for angels and demons. Anyway, there's a big courtyard in front of it, and there are a bunch of like pigeons that are kind of just flying around. And there are people who are standing there who have like a bird on their hand. And so when I went there for my honeymoon, like Colleen was like, "Oh, look, it's a bird or whatever." And then so the guy said, "Oh, hold out your hand." And then, so she did, tas nilipat yung bird dun. Tapos parang binigyan siya ng konting seeds. So, you know, all the other birds were there. And then the guy was like, yeah. And he had like the most, you know, parang charming kind of vibe. And he was like, yeah, take photos so you can remember. So, photos. Tas parang
Is it the Basilica?
yeah, the Basilica something.
Marco Polo?
Polo? I think, yeah. So anyway, after the photo's done, Colleen gives back the bird, and then the guy was like, "Okay, that's 20 euros," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ!"
Anyway, to make a quick buck, man.
Well, lalo na pag tourist spot. I think especially in tourist spots, they know that, you know, medyo maraming vulnerable, diba? And,
even in the US, near, say, along Hollywood, right? Just the ones that are just dressed up, right? They're like, hey, $1 if you're gonna take a picture with me.
Pero at least nga yun, sasabihin na parang like there's already a disclaimer na if you're gonna take a photo, it's $1. You know, yung iba kasi parang like yun, hold out your hand. But you don't know if they're just being nice and they're just gonna pass you the but like little do you know that they're gonna charge you na pala 20 freaking euros for a photo with a bird.
Gotta love it, man. Love it, hate it.
Just imagine how we felt when they said they're gonna break our legs. I think it was 100 euros each.
Take my money.
more than pa yata.
More, right? It was. I was like, what? What the hell?
You might as well pay it because you don't want to end up.
Kasi that's literally like a threat of violence. Sorry. So they know like, oh, what are you gonna tell? What are you gonna say? They call the cops or whatever. Oh man.
After that, I know we never went back to the red light district in the same manner. We're like, no way, ever, never again. We're just gonna walk and just do coffee shops. We're just gonna drink coffee and watch. Just drink coffee and that's it. We never in there. It left a bad taste in our mouth, and you can just imagine the Philippines, as beautiful as it is, and the people are majority are beautiful, but we do have some bad apples. I've heard some horror stories, you know.
Diba yung kapatid ni Will Dasovich yung taxi?
Yes, taxi pa lang from the airport, diba? Like parang they were charging her like 600 or 700 pesos from
You don't have to
the
be
airport
Pinoy
to
na.
Makati. Yeah.
You don't.
Nagtatagalog na siya nun, Nagtatagalog na siya nun.
Yeah, you don't have to be Pinoy. It happens to all of us.
Oh, well, that's true.
It happens.
At least we don't discriminate. Diba? Like if we're gonna scam one person,
everyone
we're gonna
is
scam
fair
everyone.
game. And then you see the kawawa ones, especially if they have the what is this, like the balikbayan boxes, and then they put it say in the trunk, and then they're like, oh, I'll tie it down. Tapos when they're at the stoplight, they're like, okay, someone jacks it.